My name is Lawrence Blanchard, and welcome to another edition of Let the Bible Speak for Itself. Today, we're going to find out what the word Gentiles mean from the Bible. Like the word Jew, the biblical meaning of another word commonly translated Gentile holds a major key to helping us determine what the Bible says and means. Put another way, without correctly understanding the meaning of Jew or Gentile, 80% of the Bible would be closed to your understanding. Most people assume that Gentiles refers to everyone on the planet who is not a Jew. But let's take a closer look at what the Bible says. In the Old Testament, the word translated Gentiles comes from the Hebrew word goyim. Goyim simply means nations. The first time goyim is used in the Bible is in Genesis chapter 10 and verse 32. These are the families of the sons of Noah according to their genealogies, by their nations, and out of these the nations were separated on the earth after the flood. So, in the context of Genesis chapter 10, Goyim refers to the nations from Noah's three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their descendants. There is another meaning of Gentiles or nations in the Bible. In the context of Genesis chapters 12 and 17, the word Goyim or nations refers to the descendants of Abraham and his wife Sarah. God's promise to Abraham was, "And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you." Again, God promised Abraham, "As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you will be the father of a multitude of nations." So, Goyim or nations refers to different people depending on the context in which it is used. Remember, Goyim is translated either as nations or Gentiles. The word Gentiles or nations in the New Testament was translated from the Greek word ethnos. Ethnos has two primary meanings in the New Testament. It can refer to the Judean people living in the land of Judea, or it can refer to the nations of the scattered house of Israel. For example, in Luke chapter 7, verses 2 through 5, ethnos is translated as nation. Let's read it. "And a centurion's slave, who was highly regarded by him, was sick and about to die. When he heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish or Judean elders asking him to come and save the life of his slave. When they came to Jesus, they earnestly implored him, saying, 'He is worthy for you to grant this to him, for he loves our nation.'" In this story, the Judean elders identified themselves with our nation, meaning the nation of the Judeans or house of Judah. So, in this case, one could say that nation or Gentile means the nation of the Jews or Judeans. If that is so, then Gentiles cannot mean everyone else who is not a Jew. The meaning of Gentiles depends on the context in which it is used. It simply means nations. Before we close out today's session, there is one more important meaning of Gentiles or nations. It refers to the scattered tribes or nations of the northern house of Israel after they migrated out of the land of Canaan in the 8th century BC. But in order to understand that the northern house of Israel is also identified as the Gentiles or nations, you will need to know some forgotten history of Israel in the Old Testament. You will also need to find out how the apostles Paul and Peter revealed this truth. That valuable information is revealed in my book, Discover the Story of Your Biblical Heritage. So important is this information that without it, you will not be able to correctly understand the New Testament. You can find this book at yourbiblicalheritage.com. Or you might be interested in getting this information at our online video teaching opportunity at BibleMasteryBootcamp.com. The answer to the question about the meaning of Gentiles or nations is in Book 1, Discover the Story of Your Biblical Heritage, and in Module 1 of the Bible Mastery Bootcamp. If you prefer, you may want us to send you a physical package of the entire Module 1 of the Bible Mastery Bootcamp, which includes a student notebook and a flash drive of all the teaching videos in Module 1. You can find these in the store at yourbiblicalheritage.com. Thanks again for joining me today at Let the Bible Speak for Itself.